What's going on, everybody? James here, redoptionagency.com, 22 years selling full-time on eBay. And I've been getting several questions about, uh, you know, various companies suing resellers. And it kind of feels like, a lot of resellers are being targeted, if you will. I wanted to give you my opinion, things I went through in the past that I had to deal with this kind of thing and my opinions on it all. Obviously, I think the latest was the Luke Combs situation. But beyond that, we have, places like North Face, um, Nike, coming after sellers who are selling their items new. Nike, if you're trying to sell it to a country where it wasn't released, you have like North Face who don't want you to sell a new item at all. You have the like phone cases because of their guarantee. They don't want if you're not an authorized retailer, and that's the big key word right there: authorized retailer on those items. I know there's more. I'm drawing a blank on them, but I'm gonna give you the overall census of my thoughts and opinions to kind of help probably ease your mind a little bit. Um, Especially nowadays with competition, and brands want to protect their own. That's they it's their brand. They have a right to do that. They have employees to pay. Uh, they have a right to protect the name of their company. So the whole authorized distributor thing, I get it because you also want to protect the stores who are selling your items, whether that's your own stores or you give permission to Kohl's or whoever to sell your item. You want to protect them also. So I kind of get that. Um, the biggest thing is a lot of these companies use outside services for protection. And a lot of them are set up like the Luke Combs thing situation, and a lot of big companies are the same way as his went, where the company he's hired a company to protect his brand, but it's mainly going after the big $1 million corporations, the Chinese fakes, and that's the way it is with a lot of brands. Um, my experience was with GM, the car maker, the word Cadillac. The company that was representing Cadillac was hired to really go after the big companies, and I got pulled into the mix also because I think a lot of it's done, automation online and what have you. But all it took for me was to send some emails. I sent emails to the company. Never didn't get the response a couple of times, so the next email I ended up CCing the CEO of GM also. And then after I did that, I started getting a response back, and they apologized and said that they're going after the big people, and then they kept apologizing for pulling me into it, and all my Veros got retracted. So a lot of companies, if they're major like that, all you have to do is reach out to them if you get a Vero on something and say, hey, I'm just a selling on eBay to support my family. I'm not a major corporation who's counterfeiting your items, et cetera, things like that. If they're protected by, if they got any heart, like Luke Combs did, they're going to step up and say, I did, this wasn't meant for you. And then also, you may not get with the company. So, like I did, I went to the head of GM herself and pleaded my case also. Now, I don't know if she read it. I never got a response from her. I just know I got a result after I did do that. So a lot of these companies and personnel who are trying to protect themselves, their brand, um, they're mainly going after the big people. You do have places like the phone uh, cases, like the North Faces and stuff. They'll go after anybody at any time, and that's, like I said, to protect mostly basically their partners, the retail partners in that situation. At least that's the excuse they use. I personally don't feel it should be a thing if a seller's selling like an outdated new product, and some of them it comes down to that. If it's an outdated new product, it's okay. Uh, it's the newest products that they usually come after. But again, depending on the company and how ruthless the company is, there's been a lot of instances going on, and I think a lot of people, kind of blow it up with the whole, scare tactics sell. Scares, it's with all media, including YouTube media. So I don't think there's anything to really worry about, like people coming after you, especially with AI coming into everything and automation. You're probably going to see a big increase in this kind of thing. But like I said, take the steps you need to reach out to these companies that are paid to represent the product. And if you don't get a result from them, because they're usually typically lawyers or legal, they don't have time to pay. They're doing their job, so they think. Reach out to the people who actually hired them to protect the brand. So to hire, contact the brand themselves. Like after Luke Combs got wind of what happened, he didn't know nothing about it. And that's the way a lot of these cases are. The companies themselves don't know anything about it because that's not their world. They hired somebody to take care of their problems for them, basically, making sure they get the money for their items, not somebody in China, if you will, on fake items. So, like I said, there's really nothing to worry about. You just got to pay attention to newer items nowadays. And if the company comes after, like, I won't sell no new Levi's anymore. When I put them up as used. And my main picture doesn't show the tags because they will come after you for selling their items new. Like if it's like, I don't know how deep it goes. I don't know if like new old stock matters. I wouldn't think so, but I haven't had any experience with them personally, so I'm not sure. I'm sure each one's different, depending on what the company was hired to do exactly. So I wouldn't stress about it. I would just keep up to date with the companies, the brands that don't want you selling their items new. I think that's where your major concern should be, and not even really concerned. Just keep yourself updated on the knowledge. Nike, if it goes to countries that it wasn't released in, new Levi's, new North Face, some of the phone cases. I'm trying to think. There's more out there. Everybody's got videos showing different ones. But and then I think, what was that one? That military brand. I forget what it is now. They have the logos usually on the sleeves with the rifles, I think. People, that was probably the first one that started coming after people for selling their items new. It starts with a G. I've lost it. Can't remember. And people started thinking that if you sell any of their items, you were going to get in trouble. But you can sell their stuff used. And I'm sure there's a bunch of other companies out there that I personally have not noticed yet that do that. Because not everybody makes a video, about the brands and what have you. And if you go through my videos and type in Vero or on my channel, you'll find videos that have me talking about different brands and companies that do. You got to watch out for. So if you want more detailed, and then there's plenty of videos out there of people who got Veros on XYZ for whatever reason. take into consideration when you're watching those videos. Did the person have real or was it counterfeit they were selling? Then the next question, was it new or was it used? And then look to see if anybody else is having that problem with that brand. Because if not everybody's having that problem with that brand, it was probably like a counterfeit item, and that's why it was taken down, not necessarily because they were just being targeted. So that for every time that somebody has a problem, don't take it as they're coming after you and anybody who sells that item. There's usually something more to it. So, but that's, I think, all I got to say about that. Let me do a quick search. See if there's any videos that pop up. And you can't really go by the Vero list. Vero list just means those are companies that are signed up to protect their brands. And if you sell them counterfeit, you're going to have a problem. It doesn't mean you can't sell the items that are on the Vero list. So the Vero list is kind of pointless because you don't want to sell counterfeit anything. Kind of like Disney finally started going after people on Etsy who used the Mickey Mouse likeness without the permission of Disney. You make a homemade wooden cutout of Mickey Mouse and try to sell it as Mickey Mouse, you're going to get sued. And that's the way it always has been. They just never really pushed it until recently, probably because they noticed that it's a growing market. Most of these people are not going to put in the title what it is because they want you to watch the video. So probably not going to see nothing there. But yeah, I mean, that's the basis of it. It's nothing to worry about. I had a Lego. I had a building block. I didn't use any terms by Lego in it, not even the word minifig. But being the minifig resembled a Lego minifig, I got a Vero. That was not in the United States, though. That was, I think, Germany, on the German site. And they didn't care if I was somebody in China or if I was a one-man show in St. Louis. They wouldn't take it away. They wouldn't undo it. Nothing. And I even reached out to Lego themselves, and they said, "Meh, we have nothing to do with that. We hire a company to do that." So some companies are like that, where there's no ifs, ands, or buts. But then there's companies like GM that will step back, and companies like Luke Combs. I say company because it's a brand. Brand is a company, basically, who will step back and say, this was designed for XYZ, not for little people. But I mean, if that lady was making thousands and thousands or tens and thousands of dollars off of those things, he probably had every right to say, you're now included in that. So somebody like that, even if she got off the hook and he ended up giving her like $11K, don't go back making those damn tumblers, because you know what? Even people like that's going to have a limit. You know what I mean? Like if she was making tens of thousands of dollars off of his likeness without his permission, I'm sure he's probably just going to sit there and say, that's your fault, not mine. So, but being it was like a smaller person just, making things to pay the bills, he had a heart and saw into it. So companies aren't going to have that heart always. So some of you just got to take it on the chin, inform everybody else so that everybody else knows to watch out, and leave it at that. So, but like I said, I think it's going to be picking up here as more of these legal firms and what have you start getting into AI and more automation and stuff. But as long as we as a reseller community keep each other fully informed and not just using scare tactics, I think we're all going to be fine. So thanks, everybody, and I'll see you all in the next video. Later.